Hey guys, welcome to a game called Mirror's Edge Catalyst. I'm really excited to show you guys some gameplay of this. Now, no doubt you guys have probably heard of the game before, and some of you have probably already seen gameplay footage of it, but I thought I'd take a look at it and talk about some of the features of the game, and then maybe not do so much of a let's play, but then just kind of showcase different aspects of the game, because it is a pretty interesting game, and the storyline is really interesting in and of itself, along with the graphical beauty and other things about the game that a lot of people, I think, will find interesting and appealing. Now, I've played a little bit of the game already, so I wanted to share with you some of my thoughts on various things as well. One thing that I look forward to about the game and like playing it more and kind of exploring more is the ability to free roam around the city and just kind of roam around freely and do whatever you want. Now, from my understanding, there are there's the main mission line, there's the main storyline, but then there's also side missions that you could do, and so you could spend quite a bit of time doing various things in the game. Now, from my little bit of playing, I have done a couple side missions already, some delivery missions, like transporting precious cargo, and it's really interesting to play the game and to realize that, oh, I have a time limit and I have to get from point A to point B as fast as I can. We'll talk a little bit about like movement and stuff in a little bit, but basically it's a very intense game, and one wrong move could change everything. Now, I think that there are also collectibles and things like that that you can find around the city. I haven't found any yet, but I think that they're probably scattered about in various places that you might not normally travel. Now, in terms of moving around the city, there are also many ways to go about doing different things, so you kind of have freedom of choice in all of that as you run around. There are shortcuts everywhere, and there's a clip in the video that I'll show where I'm doing a delivery mission, and I take somewhat of a shortcut, take a different path than what they offer you to take. Instead of going down, I go up, and so it kind of actually saves me a lot of time doing that. Now, I don't know if it's just Mirror's Edge or if I enjoy parkour gameplay, but they do a great job of it, and it feels really, really good. It's a pretty interesting feature where it's very important how you move and how fast you move. It's a very vital feature to the game, where you have to keep your momentum up so that you can be as efficient in movement and combat as you can be. It's very important because one wrong move means you're gonna fall off a building, and that's not a good thing. You're basically traversing across the tops of like buildings and sides of buildings and stuff, and so it's very important to keep your movement and your momentum up so that way you actually don't fall and plunge to your death, 40 stories below. Now, it's a little different to get used to at first, and you kind of have yourself wondering, oh, can I move any faster? Like, can I sprint faster? But you kind of figure those things out as you go, and just going through the tutorial alone, I found myself multiple times like failing at doing something, because the game actually takes a little bit of skill to do. It's not like, oh, I'm just gonna do this and I'm gonna hit space a bunch of times and jump from place to place. No, you gotta like hit space, hold space, run along the wall while holding space, or a directional key, or there's a bunch of different things that you have to do, and then as you progress in the game, you can get things like skill rolls, and so when you land, you can do a skill roll. But if you, like, let's say you jump off something and you don't try to brace your fall at all and do a soft landing, which is like the basic version of the skill roll, if you don't do a soft landing, you can kill yourself, and so or slow yourself down, and then that really affects things. And so it's very interesting, like the whole mechanic of the movement in and of itself. The thing is, though, there's one wrong move, like I said, or not executing a move well enough. That's another aspect of it. Like, not executing a move well enough could result in you plunging to your death or getting beat up by a melee patrol guard or something like that. And so it's really important to focus on what you're doing and kind of know how to fight and know how to move. A few times during my first hour during my first hour or so of playing, I fell like a bunch of times while exploring. Like one time I was moving and there were some guards in front of me. I went to fight them and I walked backwards and I fell off the building. And so not only is it important about movement, but it's also important about situational awareness and kind of recognizing where you are and remembering where you are, and like places you've already been can really help you kind of traverse through things a lot easier. So the trick to it is to remember that you have, like I said, a soft landing and even a skill roll out of a fall. So let's say you jump way down and you don't do a soft landing, you're going to kill yourself, like I said. Sometimes not doing that also, like I said, could result in you missing out in doing a challenge by a few seconds or 1 second. Like literally, I was doing this one mission and I failed over and over and over again. And then I realized, oh, I'm not doing a soft landing in this one spot. And sure enough, I completed the mission with 1 second left to go. And so it's really cool, like how intense the game is. Like I would not think that it would be as intense as this, but it actually does require skill. It's pretty intense, and I don't know. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just me, and I am not as good at it or something like that. But one thing I do know is that there's a ton of things to do. Like when I was running around, even in the first mission, I noticed that there was probably at least 4 or 5 other side missions that I could do that I didn't do at first, and then I went and did a couple of them just to kind of test it. There's like a race challenge. There's a delivery one where you have to beat it under a certain amount of time. There's another delivery one where you have to beat it underneath a certain amount of time. There's a drop-off delivery. There's like a bunch of different things, and so I think the cool thing is that you could play just the main storyline and probably play for a couple hours, or you could play everything, and it could take you days. And so I think there's a lot of options in terms of that you can do. Now, another cool thing is that not only are you like running around the rooftops of buildings, you're running around like a futuristic environment, which in and of itself is really cool. And then, you know, you have like the graphical detail is really beautiful, and the game looks really, really nice. And the city in and of itself, when you first kind of get out of the tutorial and you get to the main part of the city, it's massive. Or you go into the map, it's massive. The sheer size of the map is huge, and so there's a lot of room to explore. There's a lot to do, and I'm really excited to bring a couple videos showcasing various aspects of the game, such as like the fighting and the different combat scenarios, the different people you fight, the different things you fight, because like there's like a super soldier that I fought that beat me up. I think there's drones and everything else, and so there's a lot of things in that regard. Then also another thing that I really like to look at is like kind of the different races and the social aspect. That's another thing. There's like a social aspect of the game. It's like one of the core things about the game, where you have like this connected experience. You can show and create time trials, and then these beats like are essentially like you can challenge your friends and challenge other people to try to beat your time. And there's like leaderboards and stuff like that, and so there's a lot that goes into the game, and I'm really excited to bring a couple videos about it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode, this video. If you did, thumbs up the video, subscribe if you're new. I know it's a rather short video, but I like doing these little like wrap up videos, and these are really like first showcase, first impressions type of videos. It's kind of like a summary of the game, especially like these AAA titles. Since I don't play a lot of them, I kind of like to do that. So anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'll see you guys in the next one.